Alright, so for this week, they had the Valentine's Day event where you had to collect the candy hearts, and it did not work in solos. And I tried doing it in duos as a solo a little bit, but as you guys probably know, the candy hearts were only dropped by teams you killed. So as a solo, that didn't help. So for about 2 days, probably about 6 hours of gameplay, I jumped into squads just to get these hearts. Because if the squad picks up the hearts, it counts too. But the reason I recorded this one is because I end up winning despite my squad bailing on me. Now, our squad at the beginning was bad communication. They waited till the last second to jump. Nobody marked anything, so I marked the mountain, and then they all went to the treetop. And I figured there's plenty of distance here, so I'll go ahead and just pick up some weapons and make my way there. If I get killed, I get killed. But there's lots of chests up here, as you guys know from all my videos, because I always come up here. Wasn't too bad for, like I said, about 6 hours of gameplay. Ended up getting it. I think I got about 5 wins total, but again, it's replay mode, so even though it's showing a chest, there wasn't actually a chest there. I wish they would fix that glitch a little bit, but at this point I'm focusing on, as usual, getting the lock on. So I wanted to get as much gold as I can. Traveling there. I heard the shooting, and I took a peek. Took a quick peek, but I was like, I'm alone. This is squads. This might be a full squad of real people. Who knows? Obviously, I think it was real people. Bots don't huddle together like that, and then they were right at the shooting range that gives you good loot. So I made my way to treetop, where somehow all 3 of them knew to land without communicating that to me. So I don't think they were together though, because one of these, I forget which one at this point, but one of these I was playing with in the game before, just by coincidence, and it wasn't with the other 2. So I don't know if maybe the other 2 are playing together and that third person just kind of followed them out of the bus. I don't know. But anyways, all this shooting, I thought for sure it was above, which is why I'm kind of looking up, but it was below. It, based on what I heard, it was a bot squad. There's not a lot of action after this, so this is why I speed it up like crazy. I don't like cutting things, so that you guys don't think I'm like, not that I would, but patching together a video or something. I like keeping everything in there. So I sped this up. I think it's 16 times or something like that, but when there's action, I go ahead and slow it down for you. Like we hear shooting here, so I slow it down so you can see how everything transpires. My thought here was still, not gonna lie, kind of on getting the right gun. I'm not a great teammate. I don't know the strats. I don't play it enough as a team, and when I do, I play with people who may or may not also know the strats. So, and we're not learning from each other really, so, you know, if I can do some damage from a distance, I figure that's my best way, and if I stay alive, I can always get my teammates back. So that's kind of my overarching strat. I want to be involved. I want to be close to them so they don't think I'm just completely not a team player, but I do want to be helpful, you know. But I'm just not skilled in that up-close combat. I also don't have good good aim long range, but that's why this weapon rocks. I did end up finding it, I think, out of a chest, which means I have a lot of gold. So maybe I wasn't looking for gold. I'm doing the voiceover a couple days later, so I can't remember all my intentions, but I know during this part of the season I was trying to, if the three things I wanted to make sure I had were the gold bubble, the lock-on, and the suit. So yeah, here I'm running away. As you can see, my people are dying. I do see this person on the left, but because they're running away from the fight, I figured either they are bots or not aggressive. So I was okay landing underneath them. Now, in hindsight, had I not used the bubble, I don't think the person who chases me would have known I was here. They would have killed the person above me and then kept going. But it works out. I've made this mistake so many times right here. They shoot at me, I throw the bubble down, but I throw it in water, and it doesn't go down in water. So I wait for them to reload, and I grab it again. And then recharge it. I think I play this pretty well, honestly. I don't want to be stuck without an advantage when that goes, so I leave early, get a couple shots on him, and then it becomes a shotgun fight, and it's more fair because I was weak. Got some shots in before they got some shots on me. Alright, so at this point, my people had left me. They're gone. Poof, goodbye. So my thought is, get away, heal up, and get a self-revive. I have all that gold. I do remember this was my thought. I do have the gold. So get a self-revive. So if I go down, because we're in squads, if I go down in the middle of a big fight, I might not get thirsted because they might be focusing on the other people, and they don't assume that I have a self-revive. So my goal at this point was to get a self-revive, just to give me a little hint of a chance. I could have quit if I really wanted to. I'm not that type of person, though. I want to see a game through. Again, my goal was just the candy hearts, but, you know, I'm also not a quitter, you know. I see it through. So I know that it's in the storm, but I figure it's worth it. I'm going to be hiding most of the rest of the match, and I hopefully can stay away from people. So I decide that it's worth going into the storm for the self-revive. I think the self-revive is guaranteed. I think every time there's vending machines, there's always a health one, and the health one always has the self-revive. So I think they're guaranteed. I'm like 99% sure of that. Grab my self-revive. Heal up a little bit. Oh, actually, yeah. I forgot I had an empty slot, so get out of the storm and then heal up. See, I was smart at the time, even if I'm not smart now. I speed it up again. There's not much action again for the next minute or so. Well, really, I guess in real time it was more like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. I slowed down here because, again, I hear shooting, and this is when you can kind of see the end starting to form. So I figure you can get a feel for what I'm seeing as well. Now, obviously, I do see this person over here because I think they were a boss, and they had been injured. So I think in real game, I was seeing the thing above them. So I was trying to see if I could lock on just to get a cheeky kill, but it didn't work. This person I don't see yet. I see them right about now, jumping across. This is the first time I see him. I remember it was literally while I was putting on the bush. Now, I'm not in the best spot for a bush, but luckily there's some shooting to the left, so they're kind of focused there. And as soon as I hear more shooting, that's when I use it to my advantage and kind of run. So at this point, I know that there's 6 other people in 3 other squads. So 2v2v2, something like that. You know, I'm not sure, but my goal is just to get to the ring and position myself to hopefully get a third party win. And then I see that it's a 2v1 other than me, and they're shooting. So I'm like, I need to get over there. Now, obviously, I do not realize at this point that this person is down. So it's really a 1v1. I don't realize that. Again, I see this person because they're the boss. So I see their little icon above, and I also see the shooting. I was hoping this guy would fly above my head, but I did realize that this person had a car. I thought maybe it was the revive, but it was not. I wanted to make sure they couldn't get a revive off or something. I get very lucky here. I think they were paying more attention to each other. I land on here, nobody notices it, despite the car kind of driving in this general direction as the smoke is disappearing. They must be too focused on this other person. So I'm just hiding here. My goal is, I'm not even taking a shot. I don't care. I want them to fight. I realized they're going towards each other, so I got down. And then you get in the fight. Now I get uber lucky here. Goes down. I play this horribly. I should have either just aimed with the thing or broken the bush. I did not. Now, I end up getting lucky and getting a win, but that could have been embarrassing. Really, it was embarrassing, but I kind of fixed it anyways. But so yeah, it's a solo squads win, kind of. I win in a solo situation, but, you know, it is what it is. Thanks.